Hello everyone, and welcome to the final air pull for the Lakeshore pack, which is our Ironwolf Legacy. Of course, the first series was our Ultra Ironwolf Challenge featuring Maple. It was definitely a difficult one, and definitely one of the most memorable stories we've had as well, I think. But Maple's story has since come to an end, and we've been voting for which pups we want to see carry on her legacy, and we've come down to the final two, so whoever wins this poll will be carrying on the legacy as a whole. It's interesting because it actually starts with one pup from her first litter and one pup from her very last, so we've got really the full spectrum of story here. Now, of course, if you want more info about these wolves and you want to see the others or whatnot, you can find a link to a quick reference spreadsheet in the video description, as well as a link to the poll, because whichever pup wins this poll will be carrying on our Ironwolf legacy. Now, this will not be another Ultra Ironwolf challenge. That's not to say that we won't ever do another Ultra Ironwolf challenge. In fact, I've got a few fun ideas for them, but the next challenge that this pack will be carrying out will actually be a little bit different. And it's one that, dare I say it, may actually end up being an even greater challenge. In fact, it might be so hard that I'm not actually going to play it on accurate. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. We'll definitely see how this goes. But starting off the first poll here, we have Badger, who's from our first litter. He has a gray coat here. If we scroll down, we'll see that this is actually the Hall of Fame 832 F06 coat. This is one of the Yellowstone wolves, rather well-known one, and definitely a really pretty coat here. Now, Badger is actually the offspring of Maple and Branch, her first mate. Branch, unfortunately, was killed by a bear about halfway through the litter, and it turned out to be an incredibly challenging one. We lost several pups that litter. We struggled greatly with hunger as well as with illness, which Badger himself did fall victim to. However, fortunately, it occurred at the end of the litter, and he was able to recover from it by getting old enough and strong enough that he was able to kind of shake it off. Now, he does have a gray coat. And if we look at his eye color here, he's got kind of these greeny eyes. They're very, very pretty. A little bit green, kind of a lemony limey yellow sort of color. We'll also go ahead, we'll listen to his howls here. Oh, it looks like he has 11 for both of them. A little bit of a higher pitched one for his primary, and then for his secondary. That's a pretty similar one, but also a bit on the higher side. Now, he doesn't seem to have any customizations. He was created before they started rolling naturally, except for the radio collar. However, if you have ideas for what happened to him between the time he was a pup and the time that he became an adult, then you can send those in through the supporter Discord if you're a member of the Patreon, a subscriber on Twitch, or a YouTube channel member, provided you're over the age of 13 as per Discord's terms of service. And it's not a guarantee that it'll be used in a story. However, if you are interested in sending in those ideas, there's a chance that they'll be used if he becomes the heir. As for his stats, he has -1 strength and +1 health, so actually fairly neutral stats overall. They're not all that extreme. And of course, he was the 3M member of the Lakeshore pack, the offspring of Maple and Branch. He's definitely a pretty considerate wolf. He tended to let his sisters eat first. He seemed more focused on looking after them than looking after himself, especially after his father passed. But he was also quite close to Hope, I think. Hope is Maple's second mate and the one that was with her the longest, before also eventually dying to a bear, which was rough much later down the line. But he took in the pups from this litter, and I think it seemed like he and Badger ended up being pretty close by the end of it. But that is Badger. He is our first option. Next and finally, we have Destiny. And Destiny is from the final litter, the 6th litter, which was Maple's elder wolf year. She's actually the child of Maple and Midnight, Maple's final mate. She has the 926F coat here. It is a genetic black coat, one of the classic ones, but still a very, very pretty one. She definitely is a little bit reminiscent of her father. Now we'll go ahead, we can look at her eyes here a little bit more. They're kind of this deep goldeny bronze color. Definitely very pretty and fairly striking too. We'll also listen to her howls here. Oh, that's a bit of a higher pitched one, and then for her secondary. Also quite a higher pitched one. Now, I don't think has any customizations. No, she doesn't have any default ones either. But again, if you're interested in sending in ideas for what could have happened to her between the time she was a pup and the time she became an adult, and you're a member of the Patreon, a subscriber on Twitch, or a YouTube channel member, then you can do that through the JayPlays supporter Discord, provided you're over the age of 13, and you'll have a chance to have those incorporated into her final design should she become the heir or have a story. Now, as for her stats, she's got a little bit more of a dramatic stat spread. It's not exactly extreme, but she has +1 strength, +1 stamina, -1 speed, and -1 health. So modifications to all of her stats, if not major ones. And she was the 22F member of the Lakeshore pack, the offspring of Maple and Midnight, and the only survivor of her litter. Unfortunately, after Maple passed away, of the 2 surviving pups, Destiny was the only one to make it to adulthood. She was also the only one of her litter to never fall ill. In fact, sickness claimed the lives of several of her siblings, which was definitely difficult for Maple's final year, but Destiny did survive under the care of her father, Midnight. She made it to adulthood, and she has been voted as the heir possibility for the later litters. And so she and Badger are going to be the 2 options here for this poll. Now make sure to check the video description so that you can see that poll, as well as the quick reference spreadsheet if you want to see more information about these pups and about what their stats are, any details we knew about them, and any notes that we had on them, certain things that could have happened throughout the litter, just notable things that we noticed. But we're going to go ahead and leave this off here for today, because it is getting to be about that time again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.